All right, what's good, everyone? I'm gonna do a little bit of a market and cryptocurrency update. We'll do crypto first. So this is Ethereum, and what I want to show you, what I wanted to point out on Ethereum is this is the volume by price. So this is this area of the chart over here shows the amount of volume depending on the price. So you can see up here during the speculative bull run, the amount of Ethereum being traded was extremely small. You can see that the point of control, or the point with the highest volume, is down here at $137. Now, if you were to go onto Twitter and point any of this out to any of the crypto people, they would tell you that you're completely insane, blah, 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 blah. Literally, the crypto people have no logic because they belong to a cult, so you really can't listen to them. But look at where the volume is really large for Ethereum. Now, literally, it's like every 5 minutes, a new crypto thing goes bust. Recently, we just had BlockFi. There's FTX. I think Tether USDT is going to implode. There's going to be lots of leverage unwinding and bullshit that's still going to happen. So if you think that you're safe in your altcoin or even in your Bitcoin, I'm really going to have to disagree with you. So if we go and look at some other, if we look at this volume by price with Bitcoin as well, so like a volume profile, you can see the next area of high volume is down here at about $9,300, $9,500. And so it really seems to pick up, at least the volume by price, around 11 to 9K. And you can see right here between 15-ish, where we're at now, and down here to 11, there's a huge gap in volume. So I would expect if equities start going down still, or if equities continue their bear market trend on the macro, I would expect Bitcoin to fill this gap and head down here, which would be really great if you are shorting Bitcoin. We'll just show you that real quick. BITI Bitcoin short moved up to a new level up here. BITI is not exactly inverse Bitcoin. It's more meant to be used for trading, and it's daily rebalanced, so be careful if you're going to use this. But it still illustrates the point that the value of the short is going marginally that way. The value of Bitcoin, is sort of marginally going that way. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about, so in crypto, I do think some of the technology itself is quote unquote revolutionary, or at least has the potential to be, but I don't think Bitcoin is going to be a base monetary layer or a base settlement transaction layer for, really, not really, it's never really going to gain mass adoption, because you got to think about it. Right now, across the entire world, there are sovereign governments deploying central bank digital currencies, which are basically like the super upgraded version of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a cryptographic hash network with a decentralized ledger. Now, the CBDCs will probably have the quote-unquote decentralized ledger, although it'll be centralized. They probably won't have any hashing function, if I had to guess. It'll be more like Ethereum. It'll be more like proof of stake. Point being, though, is like Bitcoin is like the Wright brothers flyer, okay? And central governments around the world are getting ready to make their first gen jet fighter craft, and that's going to be the central bank digital currency. So yes, I think Bitcoin's always going to be around, no, I don't think it's going to be used as the payment system network for millions of people across the world. I mean, A, there's no more trust in it anymore. Trust is being wiped out daily as we speak. I mean, FTX, BlockFi, Luna, Celsius. I mean, I was stolen from personally in a lot of those bullshit fuckeries by, you know, Sam Bankman-Fried and the Democrats and Ukraine and all sorts of other dumb fuckery that's happening right now. But the point is that whilst there's no trust in central bank digital currencies, how many people really trust Bitcoin or crypto now either when you have basically shady centralized authorities running offshore shell companies that launder money for quote unquote, you know, war aid or whatever. You know, there's money laundering. It's full of crooks and thieves as well. So how is your Bitcoin really that superior? How is the Wright brothers flyer gonna get everyone into the skies? You know, it's not. Bitcoin's the old dog. Bitcoin's really the old dog, and you got your new dog over here, Ethereum, that pretty much follows the price of Bitcoin. Like, let's go to correlation. So this will show us the correlation coefficient with Bitcoin for Ethereum. So if we collapse this one and this one, we can see that Ethereum has significant positive correlation with the price of Bitcoin. Now, to me, that just kind of says, oh, you know, Ethereum's market cap and price is really going to follow what the daddy coin is going to do, which is Bitcoin. See, Bitcoin's correlation to Bitcoin is 1. So 1-to-1 correlation would be perfectly correlated. Then you have Ethereum over here, which is 0.9548, would basically still almost perfectly correlated. And like I said, Bitcoin is the Wright brothers flyer, and your centralized governments are getting ready to unleash the fighter jets. Now you might say, oh, well, Ethereum's so much better. They're ultrasound money. You know, Ethereum is deflationary. Yada, 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 yada. But in the end, its price is extremely correlated to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin looks like it's probably going to come down in here. Right somewhere along in here. So that would mean Ethereum, if it stays correlated, which it pretty much has been throughout its life, would probably come down around here about, you know, its volume by price is even looking even scarier. Excuse me, point of control is down at 146, which is just crazy. But I mean, I don't see 380 being out of the question if the economy continues to roll over. Now, this, on one hand, could be a very, very, very good opportunity to buy. And this is why I wanted to make this side of the video. Like right now, most of my videos are very, very bearish. And, you know, I've been covering the Bitcoin short, BITI. You can see it's perfectly negatively correlated, which is great. Exactly what you would want to see from a short ETF. But what I was going to say is, even if these things don't end up becoming the preferred pay rails of digital currencies, like say CBDCs come out and they're like the official thing and most people use that, there's still probably going to be a black market for Bitcoin. There's still probably going to be, you know, a quote-unquote black market for Ethereum and all these other things where they're not completely outlawed. I mean, I think some of them will turn into securities. It really depends on how regulation comes through. But what I'm saying is, even if I'm right about Bitcoin and Ethereum being the Wright brothers flyer, you still could have a potential to buy something in a deep value zone that has a very speculatory nature to it. Now, if you think about it on, let's think about this on like a 2 or 5 year time horizon. So let's go up. So here are, here is the 2 year divided by the 10 year. and this shows yield curve inversion. So once this yield curve uninverts, you'll have the final capitulation in equities. And Bitcoin and Ethereum right now being pretty positively correlated to equities, they're going to see their final dump too. Like I was saying, that might end up going down to around 10K for Bitcoin, maybe around $400 for Ethereum. Point is, when that happens, so say this bounces around up here and then eventually it finally comes back down. This will be the pivot when this starts going back down below 1. That'll be when the Fed pivots, or when it'll at least take effect. Now, when you get to as you're traveling down along this, that means monetary conditions are easing and capital is going to be easier to acquire. So all the money that was stolen and pumped up during this last Bitcoin rally, all of this and this was because liquidity of the dollar was essentially looser. It was like easier to get credit, and that's why you had big fucking stupid shell companies with Sam Bankman-Fried and his wood elf nymph girlfriend or whatever stealing from, institutional investors and you and me alike. So what I'm saying is, next time there is a area in the market where capital and credit is easily obtained, i.e. when interest rates are really low, that would be a good time to maybe open a position in Bitcoin or Ethereum if you're in it for the speculative value, in it for the speculative nature. So like, as you can see, that volume-based point of control really coincides a lot with this trend line down here. We put it here and here, about like that. I mean, it's kind of scary to think like it would do a complete retrace. Because, I mean, I used to watch Real Vision and Raoul Paul and Altcoin Daily. I mean, I still watch Altcoin Daily because he has good news stories. But, fucking Raoul Paul, that guy back here, who's like, oh, it's going to $40,000 a coin. You'd have to be absolutely stupid not to buy it. I think it's going to go to the moon. Or, whatever the fuck bullshit he was saying then. And you got to realize, fuckers like this, billionaires, millionaires, they have literally no fucking perspective anymore. Their perspective is completely fucked up. Think about it. Kevin O'Leary, fucking moron who invested into FTX and essentially probably helped orchestrate the collapse of Celsius. That guy's a snake. So why would you even listen to this person at all at this point? Why would you? Because, I don't listen to Raoul Paul. I don't listen to Kevin O'Leary anymore because they've been proven to be literal absolute either snakes or idiots when it comes to crypto. They don't know better than the layman. Now, I know, I guess that was a bit of a tangent, but, that's my channel. Another one that I am looking at to acquire, once the final capitulation happens, which I don't think it's happened yet, is going to be Chainlink. Now, they just activated staking, which, whoop-de-doo, who cares? I think you're going to get gap filled down to here and then potentially down even to here, 230 to 366. So it's in a period of being positively correlated with Bitcoin right now. You had a bit of a negative correlation there. Anyways, that's besides the point. Link is another one that actually has some decent technology. I mean, if you think about it, there's Binance, because you got Binance Smart Chain, and the guy has a monopoly. You got Chainlink, okay, they actually do something. They're an oracle. Pretty much like any cryptocurrency thing worth its salt uses Chainlink oracles. You got Ethereum and you got Bitcoin. All the rest seem really speculative to me. Here's another one. I mean, they're all speculative, but what I'm saying is these seem less speculative to me because they have never. How do I want to put this? Link, Ethereum, Binance, Bitcoin, if they survive this bear market, they'll be around forever, because this is cryptocurrency's sort of .com bubble moment. I mean, you had super cheap to obtain credit and just massive frauds in this industry, and now it's all getting washed out, and that's basically creating a crisis. But what that is good for is smart, patient investors like you and I are going to wait, and we're going to snipe a position on some of these coins when they get to really extremely depressed levels. I mean, no one thought already that shit would go this low. And, you know, I'm basically saying, no, it's going to go even lower. And when that does happen, I'm going to be ready. Let's look at total crypto market cap. So, yeah, I mean, I think you're going to get gap filled down. I mean, you tested, look at this, you tested about 850 billion. Now you're at 775 billion. You got rejected off of 800 billion right here. So, and you have a big red candle today. But if we look at our volume by price, you can see our next big volume zones are way down here. Now you could have accumulation, some sort of like, let's say this does this, gets filled down to here, accumulate, get down to here, accumulate down to here. Now, nothing happens instantaneously, obviously. You're not going to go directly to this point. Things take time to form. But what I'm saying is, by your volume by price on your total market cap indicates that it's could potentially go back to 250 billion, which, you know, these things do like round numbers. There's 3 trillion. You know, the last technical level was 800 billion. There's a trillion about right here. So that was another technical level. What is this? 775 billion. Yeah, so I mean, surprisingly, also not surprisingly, these things like round numbers. Because there's probably computers out there with, you know, stuff like this on it, you know, doing 1,000 more calculations than I'm capable of, or any human is. So that was a quick crypto update. Still macro short, basically waiting to get gap filled down to some legacy levels. And if that happens and the yield curve has uninverted and credit becomes cheap again, that's when you should. If you believe in crypto in the long term, that would be your opportune buy moment. But before that, you should be looking at shorts. All right, peace out.